This is a piece with Eubernation and osteoarthritis at the Bone Museum. Let's take a closer look. As you can see, this acetabulum is severely deformed, being very wide and having lots of osteophytic lipping around the margins. Observe the shine in the acetabulum, which is Eubernation, a form of sclerosis which causes hard, polished bone. For context, here is a healthy pelvis. Notice that the acetabulum or the hip socket has a nice rounded shape and there lacks any osteophytic lipping or porosity inside. Hi, my name is Paige. I have a master's in anatomy and forensic anthropology. Looking at it from the internal aspect, you can see how far the osteophytic lipping reaches over the margin. Observe the space between the joint and the rest of the pelvic bone. It's possible that the transverse acetabular ligament ossified in reaction to the inflammation in this area. So how does this happen? Damage to the cartilage over time causes the bones to grind across each other, causing the bone to smooth out and get polished over time, forming this polished bone appearance. For example, this is another specimen at the Bone Museum that exhibits Eubernation of the femoral head, which is what will go into the hip socket of the pelvis. The femur and the pelvis form the hip socket together, so they are grinding both together, and both sides of this joint are going to show that Eubernation. It's hard to capture it in video, but the head of this femur is incredibly smooth, similar to the cue ball in pool. This person survived a severe femur fracture, which displaced it by 5 inches. This huge displacement would have caused severe changes in their walk, then causing the femur to grind abnormally against the pelvis, causing this Eubernation that we see on the head, and would have likely also been in the person's hip socket. Even though these bones are from 2 different specimens, you can visualize how they would have been rubbing against each other and affected the normal variations of a human pelvis. This kind of change to the acetabulum and the Eubernation that we can see would have affected the quality of life of this individual. They likely would have had pain and stiffness in their joint, as well as reduced hip mobility. Here at the Bone Museum, we like to make osteology accessible. With the impending TikTok ban, we want to make sure that you're still able to see our regularly scheduled content. So please follow us on Instagram or other platforms to continue watching these.